I think you could back out because the stream hasn't started, right?
Okay, can they hear us?
If you want to back out of the room.
You can just get right into it. I'm cool with either. You just want to bring us in. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the final in the third Texas Blaze Blues Central Fiction online weekly just before Frosty Fausting 16, just to get that bit more practice in before the event comes around. This is our 7th tournament being held. We're going to get right into it, as you can see, with Citru Hole and Ryuk right here. Ryuk on the Naoto, Citru on the Lambda. So this will be a really interesting matchup. I'm Salty Boy, and I'm joined here by Killer Kitty.
It's nice to see everybody. Looks like we're getting into an early match right away. Wasting no time, just getting straight into the action.
Yeah, right here, Ryuk getting a pretty good combo. This is going to throw Citru in the corner exactly where he wants him, just because Citru is that zoner archetype. They don't want him to be trying to run away and try to zone him out, and Ryuk is putting on some really good pressure. Citru having a hard time breaking out until they spend that burst right there, but I'm not too sure how I feel about that one, because that does mean if they can't make this back, then they won't have burst for the next round, and that super will close it out. Ryuk taking a round and with a very good start.
Yeah, definitely a hero burst that just didn't pay off in the long run. Naoto is a character that can rush down Lambda pretty easily, having one of the strongest rushdowns in the game. Just like that, immediately in and immediately put back into the corner where Ryuk wants him.
Yeah, Naoto is like the insect of this game. He just gets in on you and he stays on you.
Both really strong starters here. This is like easily 4K.
Oh yeah well over 4K.
Oh, that should be it.
Oh no, how did they drop? And there's the punch from Citru.
Oh, and the overhead reset. I like that.
Oh, seems like they
bit of a
dropped
drop
at the very
there.
end there. But Citru does have some mirror to work with. Is going to get some burst back. So as long as they don't get the hit rate too big, never mind. Citru unfortunately didn't burst that final exchange, and Ryuk will be taking that first game to put himself on to set point over Citru. And we're going back to character select, actually. Seems like Citru wants to switch to a different character, and there's the S coming out the pocket.
A very Texas character, if I do say so myself.
Yeah, I play at... We have 2 S players on the mic right now. It doesn't get more Texas than this.
I feel like that normally happens. We should just have like... The commentators are usually just a 9-player here or a Hazama every once in a while.
Hey, at least you're in Houston and not Austin, because Austin has 5 S's including me. It's wild.
Yeah. I like this matchup actually a lot more than the Lambda one. S has pretty good range. I would like to see if that comes into play here.
Yeah, pretty good range, and S can also contest a lot more of Naoto's buttons and approaches a lot easier than Lambda can, especially if Naoto gets in on Lambda. That's really difficult, but S has a much easier time in those close range situations, and Citru going to swap the sides, throwing Ryuk into the corner, but Ryuk not phased at all, going to keep this combo going. Oh, nice.
Bit of a drop,
catch
but
on that tech.
still gets... Bit of a drop, but still gets the hit, and this should be death, but the burst comes out. Another hero burst. And we saw before in the first round that the hero burst cost them quite a bit. They got the burst at the end of the round, and it looks like that might be the situation here too.
Yeah, that hero burst before definitely cost Citru the round, but this one might cost Citru the game.
Here we go. Naoto does a lot of damage, so you might be able to kill S before she gets her burst back.
Yeah, that is a possibility, especially so if Ryuk has such a great start to this. The guard break.
Oh, gets hit by the slash Kate on the reset. Goes for the full charge 6D, but drops the combo. S died before she even got like a little over half of her burst.
Yeah, that was really, really rough. Naoto just throwing out these extremely big buttons, extremely big moves. Anti-airing Citru, guard breaking Citru from far distances, and you can tell that Citru has a bit of unfamiliarity in this matchup in particular.
Right, and this just shows how important and how precious of a resource that burst is, because you do not want to take some of these hits from Naruto, and if burst sometimes is the only thing that stops you from eating 4 to 6k damage.
Yeah, for sure. And especially so, more so because burst is also tied to overdrive, right? So if you do find that one good opening to make that comeback, you're not going to be getting a whole lot of damage without that overdrive. And you know that S normally doesn't get a lot of damage without it. Normally it's like 3k, but with overdrive could easily get over 4k.
So a big part of the reason I really like S, I don't believe that S relies on her overdrive as
Oh,
much
not at
as
all.
other characters. So I think her overall playstyle is very flexible. You could spend burst if you need to, or if you get a nice hit, you get the overdrive, maybe get active flow going. I really like that about her. That she's a very flexible type of. You can play her zoner, rush down, mid game. There's so much that you can do with her, and that's why I think she's a really great character.
Yeah, I
Um,
think most people would agree with you on that statement. A very good character indeed.
yeah, we did get kind of into an early start, but yeah, once again, I am Killer Kitty. It's really good to be back on commentary, and of course, I am joined here by Salty Boy. It's really good to see you.
Hello.
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah, so that probably is good for what we were saying earlier. But yeah, the net play just isn't perfect, but playing in the same state always helps, at least with lag and things.
Yeah,
And
for sure.
yeah, so that was kind of a fast first game. So we're already gonna move into our second game.
Yeah, and this does mean we're going to be moving into winners round 2, or actually winners quarterfinals, because we do only have 9 people showing up today. A little bit less than last week's, and definitely a lot less than what we normally get here. But still, the fact that 9 people showed up is great, and Ryuk Citru showing up is always a treat to watch new players show up. I don't think Ryuk has been showing up too often, and I know Citru shows up all the time too. So
Right.
really cool to see them on stream a lot more often. And we're going and building off of that point, we're going to be seeing Seb V versus Weebshi coming up in winners quarterfinals. Seb, a new player here in these brackets. I don't think they've shown up at one of our brackets before. They play Noel, and so it's going to be really cool to see them show up on stream for the first time and show what they can do in this little smaller bracket, but it's a small bracket with a ton of killers because Texas is full of fantastic players. You know Javon, you know Chixama, you know Extreme Sonic, Hollow. They're
Right.
all really, really strong.
And speaking of, we have as their opponent Weepshi, which I'm very interested to see because they play Carl, they play Rachel, and I believe they also play S. So they play a lot of really cool characters to watch. A lot of really cool characters that are annoying to fight against, but a lot of really cool characters to commentate and watch.
Yeah, I would definitely place my bets on Weepshi sticking with that Rachel, though. Rachel is like the Weepshi character. There is actually maybe Batista and Undernight, but I know that Weepshi just loves this character, and to his credit, it's a really cool character too.
It is, yeah. Rachel has always been one of my favorite characters to watch. And she's very difficult to play, but a lot of these characters can be. Like Carl is also exceptionally difficult to play. And S, not so much. S is on the more beginner friendly, easy to pick up, hard to master type of character.
For sure. That's a lot of characters in this game too. Very complex, especially like, people like to call characters like Susanna easy. That's like one of the first things you think of. But he does get a lot more complex the higher you get in skill with the character, because it starts to come down to like the decisions you make with which openings you take, how you get those openings, which seals you choose to unlock, because there's 8 seals and the order in which you unlock them is very important. So even a simple character like Susanna that you can start playing and get good results with at the start just expands a lot more as you keep on playing them.
Right. Like the best example I've ever seen is a character like Mai, with her unique type of button mechanics. But if you talk to most Mai players, they'll tell you that Mai has some very complex combos. That it's not just about mashing 5C. It's about timing, and that's what I like about this game. A lot of characters have their own unique style, and it looks very flashy for every character.
But it's also about mashing 5C, don't forget.
Right. Yeah, yeah. I'm not gonna take away from that. So we are gonna see the Rachel versus the Noelle, and this should be a very interesting one because we've seen Weavshi on stream before. I don't think I've ever seen Seb. I've played against Seb, but I don't think I've ever seen them in this tournament.
And also, it's really cool that Seb here is representing Noelle, not a very common character. The only other person I know that plays Noelle at a higher level is Fire, and that's just a pocket, right?
Yeah, I know a few of them, players like Litherin.
Oh, well, in Texas.
Yeah, oh, right. Speaking of, do you know where Seb is? Like, what city
I
Seb is?
believe San Antonio area.
Oh, cool. So San Antonio, what? Starting off, they're getting the first clean hit, and they're doing a really good job at keeping pressure on Weavshi.
And this will be the second opening for Seb. Seb, yeah, or barely got touched by Weavshi here, and just laying on so much damage. That's 4K in the corner.
I think just a few hits from the Lobelia coming out, but there goes the catch air. RC's to make a mistake, but still gets hit. And this should be enough to kill with the meter.
Yeah, I think Weavshi might have tried to press a button there, tried to push their own advantage after the chair got blocked, but unfortunately, Seb was there to really just stuff Weavshi in the corner, just keep that pressure going. And this is another great start to keep this pressure going and locking down Weavshi in the corner, a place where Rachel does not want to be. Yet to even see those win stocks
Actually,
come out
the
either.
catch air coming out, though. And look at the clash on the 4D? Oh, immediately just going in. This should be full corner carry, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Rachel has some of the best corner carry in the game. Nice delay tech. Oh, I don't know if Weavshi knows this, but JD is actually minus on block. You can tag Noelle when she lands. Okay. Seb getting the grab. But the drop coming out and the reset into the overhead. We take those all day. The American reset to close out the first game.
Wow, Seb is already off to a fantastic start in this tournament. Not just in that game, but that tournament as a whole. It's very convincing that
a great showing for their first time on stream, yeah.
And you can tell that those 12,000 matches are no joke. Seb knows the game.
I'm interested to see how Weavshi answers this pressure because Noelle is just running over this Rachel.
I think the best thing that Weavshi, or at least
immediate burst from Weavshi,
is just filling up the screen, right? Because just throwing out the tabs, throwing around the movement options to keep Noelle from approaching him as easily, and using those electric shares in those right moments. It was at those critical spots in Noelle's pressure to get her off of him.
Ooh, and I really like the pressure coming out from Weavshi, but the nice 6D coming out from Seb. It's gonna let Noelle get the corner most likely. Oh, and the falling overheads, very difficult to block.
All right.
See if a catch air comes out again.
No, okay, we're just going
off and just wins away. Yeah, to the other side of the screen, but Seb chasing them all full screen to get the full confirm.
That will be enough to kill. That was crazy too.
And the slow fall for Rachel.
Yeah, Weavshi just flew the entire distance hoping to escape Noelle, but Seb was just like right under him and ready to catch him.
And I like that 3C to catch Noelle rolling to the other side. The Lobelia comes out, but just the info, the Noelle's drives are usually projectile info.
I like that offensive burst from Weavshi. You can see that Weavshi's immediately capitalizing off of it too, setting out a lot of traps that we haven't been seeing earlier. Or he didn't have enough time to set them up before, right?
Gets a Lobelia hit with the bats on top, and actually gets another Lobelia hit. This is what Weavshi needs. This is what they need to control the Noelle and make sure that they run their game plan instead.
Yeah, that was definitely a round that went Weavshi's way, but can that go Weavshi's way yet again two times in a row? This could be the start of it.
Yeah, this is really good corner carry. Actually gonna knock him down mid-screen with the frog on top. Gets hit, an immediate overdrive coming out from Seb.
Oh,
bit of a drop, but it's okay. Still on top. Nice block on the overhead.
The stagger pressure and a counter hit for Seb. Another opening created. And this is going to move Seb even closer to this round when catches Weavshi trying to escape the corner.
Goes for the 40, gets hit with the overhead. I don't know if they have enough to kill because they don't have the meter. This might be Weepsy's last chance before they get sent to losers. And gets hit with the grab. Locking out the burst, and great showing from Seb.
Yeah, there we go. A quick 2-0 in Seb's favor, sending Weepsy down to losers, but that probably won't be the last time we see of Weepsy. Weepsy is a really good player here in Austin, so you can definitely expect to see more of them if they're able to win their losers matches, make it into losers quarterfinals, which I believe will be streamed. But yeah, Seb moving into winners semifinals, moving in to that pretty nice. Well, I guess this entire bracket is kind of like a top 8, but moving into that nice top 4 spot at least for now.
Right. I mean, I think that was a very good showing for both players. Weepsy looked like they were fighting back, just got overwhelmed by this Noelle, and honestly, it is kind of a unique character to find. You don't see many of them online. So, I would like to see them make their way through losers. I think it'd be really good. And looks like we're getting into our next match already.
Looks like it coming up. Extreme Sonic versus Hollow. You know both of these players, Mai and Nine. Extreme Sonic actually making, I believe, second place in third place.
At third place, right.
Yeah.
They got third place, but still a very strong showing. And once again, when you're going through so many killers, third place is nothing to scoff at. That's still a very high placement.
Oh, not at all. And Extreme Sonic was able to take first place in the tournament before last week, right? 2 weeks ago. So definitely one of those players to look out for, especially as a 9. Oh, and of course it's a 9, so it doesn't get more Texas than this.
Yeah, we just needed S or Hazama on the other side of the screen, and then we have a good old time. So here we go. We're gonna see the start. I don't know how this match goes in particular, but it looks like Extreme Sonic does. Goes with the immediate 5A start, dropping the meteors on him.
Yeah, oh, Hollow thought they could get into a blind spot, but no, that's going to cover the full screen. You're not escaping that. And you're not going to escape that when Hollow dives out of the corner. And this is going to be a fantastic conversion for Hollow.
Yeah, 3K, but 9 just immediately just teleporting out of the corner.
Yeah, that's one of the things about this matchup in particular, is that both these players can be very slippery with their characters. You have the 9 teleports that are strike invincible, throw invincible, but you also have Hollow with those dives that feel like spot dodges.
But we have Extreme Sonic with the confirms and the damage, closing out the first round of the set.
Ooh,
and then just teleports around the Himiri.
It feels like Extreme Sonic tapped into their brain, and they knew that Hollow was going to do that. And another counter hit right after the dive.
But the dive coming out, and the DP just getting Mai off of her. Meteors once again.
And this is going to keep pressuring Hollow from that full screen, so they can't just spam those lances, those spears from full screen away, throwing them, tossing at him.
Hollow has first.
Sonic might be enough to kill here. No, not quite. As Hollow
first coming out, but the immediate spell. One of Nine's fastest normals is actually her 5D, and depending on what spell she has, it could come out much faster than normal. I believe her fastest button is a no spell 5D, and then a water spell 5D, and then fire, something like that. But that's one of her fastest buttons, and it's really good for challenging people that jump at you.
Yeah, but it's one of those buttons that you don't normally see too often, because it always feels like a 9 has some spell, has some stock loaded up.
And yeah, let's be real, that stock is usually the Kunzite, the frozen meteor getting thrown at you.
That is true. There's 3 spells you need to worry about: Kunzite, Morganite, and Fairy.
Okay, but Extreme Sonic knocked him down with Morganite. And he actually goes for empty low. Missed the first jumping button. But Hollow getting a nice reversal of fortune and putting 9 into the corner. Let's see where they go for mix-up. And once again, Extreme Sonic just teleporting out.
I like what Hollow was thinking there, though, because he knew that Extreme Sonic was going to teleport out, so he tried to backdash, try to get that space he needed, but Extreme Sonic's teleport, that 9 teleport just went a little too far and was able to go right behind it.
And unfortunately, just Extreme Sonic above Hollow getting that falling button. And now Extreme Sonic on tournament point. I mean, not tournament, sorry. Match point. My apologies. Not quite yet, but yeah. Hollow fighting back, trying to make this more even. But drops the combo. And Extreme Sonic once again switches the corner. What's the mix here?
You give the 9 player an inch, they take a mile. There's Barry coming out, there's Kunzanite coming out, and Hollow not blocking high. Morganite coming out. The
Nice block
double
on the mix.
ice switch for the
Nice block on the
cross-up.
mix and actually switches corner. This is Hollow's last chance. Oh no. Pass the burst somewhere. Where is it? Will it even matter? No, it doesn't.
Man, the awareness from Extreme Sonic, knowing that Hollow in the air like that, going to throw his spear out from up high, using that teleport to go right through it and snipe him out of the air into a full combo. And unfortunately for Hollow, that combo was burst safe in the middle. It was a really unfortunate burst timing for Hollow, and that will put Hollow into losers, as Extreme Sonic will be moving up into winner semis to play against Chick Zama.
Yeah, and these matches are just flying by. We're already like into winners semifinals.
Yeah, that's one of those things about those that's one of those things about strong players that know how to play the matchups. And I mean, the thing is, these players have played with each other so much.
Right.
They've played each other in these brackets probably a lot in casuals. You know, I know Javon has played Chick Zama a lot of times, Extreme Sonic a lot of times, and so has Chick Zama with Extreme Sonic with Javon. And those kind of like repeat matchups is really interesting, because it becomes less of a character matchup thing and more of like a player matchup, because they're so familiar with each other's characters.
Yeah, and you start to see things that you're not too sure about, but it's usually just like the player versus player thing does come into effect a lot. But
I think that's what's really ooh.
Yeah, this is
And I
one that I'm
think that's
very
the-
interested in.
Yeah,
Is,
and just to build off of that, I think that's what's really cool too, because with those player matchups, you're not starting at that layer 1 where people are unfamiliar with each other, but instead it's going straight to like layer 4 or 5, where we're already playing mind games right off the start.
and this is the one that I want to see, because I've never seen these two fight against each other. But look at that, Javon already showing a lot of aggression. But misses. You have to do 5B, 2C in that one. Oh, and gets a nice 6C combo. This is a lot of damage. You can go for 3 loops here.
I can already tell you're in your element, you're watching an S player, and you're like already imparting all the knowledge on us.
Oh, and nice bar crush coming out from Javon. Yeah, Seb immediately forced a burst, but I don't know about that, because they haven't hit Javon for a single time, except right there. Kind of running out of S's range, but not really getting any hits.
Doesn't seem like it, and Javon rapid canceling in. Seb thought the pressure was over, and Javon taking that round because of it. We're going into round 2 of game 1 and immediately backing up. Javon sniping with a 5C, but we're still just playing this patient, neutral. Both players respecting each other until Javon just runs up. Too impatient. Just wants to end this quick.
And you can see, it looks like Seb is just a little too uncomfortable with this matchup. Kind of staying out of S's range, but you have to approach at some point.
And it looks like that's what Seb is trying to do, but these buttons from S are just so big. It feels like it feels like Seb's buttons are using so much because of this.
And I really like what Javon is doing, just keeping the pressure, making it to where Seb can't really run their game. Oh, and the cross up coming out from Javon.
That was nasty.
It's unfortunate Seb ended that game with their burst, but in that situation, do you really spend it?
Yeah, right now, Javon is really testing Seb and how strong Seb's defense is right now. It's really asking a lot from him. Like, we're seeing cross-ups, we're seeing overheads, lows, and it just keeps on going and going, and you don't know when it ends.
Here we go, round 2. Seb running in a little more, being a little more aggressive, just getting tagged once again. And Javon just chunking that fireball.
in the corner. This is where Javon as S will thrive. Didn't expect the JB overhead, and now
Yeah,
Team
it's a
Versus
nice little
Extreme.
mix. Gets the JD, but doesn't get a full confirm. Gets a new combo. How are they gonna end it? Just normal circle press.
Yeah, he knows
Tries
that
to bait
combo
out a
is not
type of
gonna kill.
reversal, but once again gets hit by the same setup.
This
Javon,
should be enough to kill.
yeah, kind of forced to Tokyo Overdrive because S doesn't do as much damage without it.
But
So
still,
I
it's good to
definitely
have a
agree with
round.
that. Right.
Right.
Oh, and just
Already
gets
off
hit by the
another
JD. That's a
great
full combo.
start. But this time, Seb will hit Javon. No perfect for you today.
Oh. And once again, Seb, a lot of these falling JDs are just doing a lot of work against Seb.
I think Seb is having a hard time trying to contest S in the
Gets
air.
hit by the JD and forced to burst. They're actually on their last leg here. Gets a hit. What? Oh, and gets a nice JD hit. This is actually probably the first real combo we've seen from Seb the whole set.
I think so too, and that's a good way to start it off. Now has Javon in the corner, has some meter, but this barrier block is proving to be really difficult, pushing him out so far.
And Seb really needs to start burying a lot of these projectiles. They could die to chip.
Oh, they very well can, and Javon sitting on full meter, has burst, has overdrive.
Oh, but immediate burst. Javon wants to end this right now.
Spot dodge the super?
But gets hit once again by the falling button. Sometimes you have to just block those. S can act out of her fireballs after she throws even two of them in the air.
Yeah, I think that's...
Yeah, there's a specific way to punish that, but just Seb just a little too impatient there.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that are kind of difficult to understand at first glance because you see a character jump up and throw a projectile like that, and you don't think they have enough time to go for like some big jumping move falling down. But that is exactly what S can do. And they did have a really good spot too because they avoided both those fireballs. But again, there is a specific way to punish it, and did not seem like they knew how to do it.
Yeah, and it's one of the it becomes really an RPS type of situation. But there is a very specific way. I've seen it at high level. I play the character. I've been punished by it before, and there's a really nice way to punish it. But you just gotta have to know those situations. And at the time, it just didn't look like Seb had the knowledge. Okay, so I think we have, yeah, I think we have a little time before the next match, right?
I think so too.
Yeah, I think this is a good time to shout out that we do in fact have a matcherino for this tournament. So if you're liking what you see, it's a good way to donate to the players. This all goes to the players, and if you don't have money, it's okay. We have claim codes that you can go in just, just a few button taps, and you can add 25 cents to the pot. It goes a long way, and it shows the players that you're really enjoying what you're seeing.
Support their plane trip to Frosty, yo.
Yeah, you might not think
I'm sure they would appreciate it.
You might not think it, but those 25 cents do go a long way, especially because all of it goes to the players. We don't accept any money.
It all adds up, right? If one person does it, it might not be that much, but if a lot of people do it, it's going to start adding up.
Right. There are, a couple viewers here, but we do have like about 49 people watching, or 43 codes left available, and I'm pretty sure that's a number that we can get down quite a bit.
Well, I was about to say 49 people watching. That's crazy. I would love to see that. Hello, people.
Right. I also think we have decent amount of money in that pot already. So why not make it a little better?
Now it looks like the players are ready. Zama, Extreme Sonic, Kazama versus 9. We've seen this plenty of times already, but it's never going to get old for me. I know that I've seen this a lot. Zama versus Swirly Glasses, a staple matchup here in Texas. Those two players going head to head, the TOs here in Texas.
Right, and we've actually seen these two play against each other in the online brackets quite a bit. I think they played last week for second and third place.
Yeah, and they also played previously in the bracket too. Like I think it was a winners quarterfinals match just like this.
Yeah. So definitely a match that we've seen before online and that we've seen before.
And the thing is, Extreme Sonic did beat Chickzama in that winner's quarterfinals match. And it did happen.
Okay, starting off, you have Chickzama unfortunately putting himself into the corner.
Oh, it looks like it got booted out. Oh, sorry, booted out though.
Oh, there's the immediate GP to get him off. Zai coming out, and immediate burst coming out from Chickzama. Oh, but gets hit by the falling J2A. And here we go. Just, you can see the amount of respect coming out from both players, just spacing out in neutral. No one really wants to commit until the God Can comes out. Ooh, and just a little scrambly situation. Okay. Both players. Extreme Sonic seems to be getting a lot of the exchanges in their favor. But here we go, Chickzama's chance, but the burst denying any momentum coming out from Extreme Sonic. Both players just jockeying for position. And there we go, Chickzama finally getting a really nice hit, but drops the combo. Oh, and gets a stance overhead. This is really good for Chick. Throws him in the corner, goes for the meter, tries to do as much damage. Can they kill? The RC? They should drop here, yep. Oh, but the grab coming out. And unfortunate for Extreme Sonic, they had so much momentum going into it.
Especially when that Kazama kills out once and then it's just putting you into unending staggered pressure. Kazama having a really solid defense right now, but you can't keep that defense up forever as Extreme Sonic finally opens up Chickzama in the corner, but Chickzama breaking out. There's a combo coming out. A bit of a small combo, but it's alright because that puts them into a much more favorable position.
And once again, the burst coming out, kind of the same point as the last time they hit the burst. But the command throw coming out, and Extreme Sonic immediate burst. The super to try to bait out a God Hand.
Got a little cheeky there, and now is going to pay for their sins. Oh, not enough to kill. This will be enough to kill though, and now Extreme Sonic has even up the rounds.
Yeah, 1-1 in the first round, or the first game.
Yeah, I'm liking this even competition right now. And Chickzama with the first blood.
Yeah, doesn't chicken guard that stance, so they're gonna get each overhead combo. He's about 3k into the corner, and once again, it's hit by the overhead. But a nice challenge from Extreme Sonic.
A great challenge, in fact. Barry's out. What's the mix-up going to be? Catching Chickzama out of the air and challenging them on the ground as well. This will result into a full combo as we're seeing here. Another
tried to go for empty low, but it didn't work out. And Chickzama bursting out. Ooh, that's scary. Scary stuff. Both players just trying to get position. Oh, and the burst coming out from Extreme Sonic. I don't know if they wanted that after that hit, but now this is an honest game. Chick sitting on astral conditions.
Oh no.
Oh, but drops the combo! That should have been it! Oh, gets the stance overhead, and that should be enough to close out the round. First game going to Chickzama.
I like what Chickzama did there too. Holding that stance, and then saw the cross-up happen, and was right there to catch it.
Yeah.
That was really smart delay.
That was really great stuff from both players. It came down to almost like the last hit.
Well, let's see if we can see that happen in game 2. Maybe see a game 3 last round. Maybe just maybe.
It'd be the first on stream, I think, right?
That
these players, yeah, these players are very even, so that's very possible that could happen. And once again, both players just showing a lot of respect to each other.
Well, as much respect as you can give. Chickzama just running away, throwing out those chains as usual, while Extreme Sonic is trying their best to catch Chickzama, try to chase them down.
Oh, and gets hit by the Amethyst. Moonsight, no good. But this should be enough to confirm, yeah. Goes for empty low. Gets hit by the burst coming out, but it did nothing.
I wonder if Chickzama tried to overdrive there, because you can actually overdrive through the Moonlight, but they might have timed that a little too early to where they got the burst on the block button instead.
Yeah, and Extreme Sonic closing it out with that spell super. That spell
Either way.
super, yeah, that spell super getting more damage because Extreme Sonic had a spell stop. Here we go. Just teleports away and gets a hit. Oh, but doesn't get the full combo. Amazing challenge by Extreme Sonic, and this should be corner. So throw Morganite mix. Oh, and gets the low, gets the overhead reset,
Oh,
and
no,
gets the Queenside reset once again.
No, are we going to get 3 in a row? We are not going to get 3 in a row, but we're going to pop
Oh.
over. Tries EA in response, but a little too far away. Shigdama is holding on to their life. Can they make this round happen? Can they make this miracle happen?
Bit of a drop combo, but it's still very close.
Right now,
Shigdama has a hill to climb, but with 100 meters, this is very possible.
yeah,
And there we go, the first Hotenjin of the game.
Yeah, Hotenjin, the special thing about that super is that it's one of the only supers in this game where you can combo right out of it without meter.
I think it actually adds bonus proration to it.
Oh yeah, it does.
Oh, the God Hand
A
coming
lot
out,
of
but
damage.
Shigdama actually got the hit. And the burst coming out from Extreme Sonic, I don't know about that. They're going to go into this third round without a burst.
Extreme Sonic, you can tell that they really, really wanted to close that one out because that would have evened up the games. Now Shigdama has a chance, and even more of a chance too, because now Extreme Sonic has to wait for that burst to recharge. And there's the combo. You can't burst these ones.
Yeah, this is looking really rough because Shigdama just zooming across the screen. Doesn't chicken guard the stance once again, gets hit by the overhead, gets hit by another overhead, giving Nine a taste of her own medicine.
Oh no, they're like, you rock me, here's some overheads of my own, now block these.
And now Shigdama is in a very good spot. This is looking really bad for Extreme Sonic. I don't even know if they're going to get their burst in time.
I don't think so either, and this is such a huge hill to climb. Shigdama on that road to a perfect, and just like that, I cursed Shigdama. Shigdama did not get that perfect, but Extreme Sonic, either way, is on that pixel of life and still
Yeah,
just comes back.
any hit, any chain,
Very
this is
difficult.
looking really tough for Extreme Sonic, and unfortunately, too tall of an order.
Shigdama knew too, like, it was like, I know I can just do any hit and it'll kill. So Shigdama just opted to play lame that entire time.
Yeah, and you can see once again, time and time, where bursting like that, the hero burst sometimes just doesn't pay off. We saw it in the first game of the tournament, and it's just one of those resources that if you don't correctly play it, it could come back to bite you really hard.
Mhm.
Although that was an amazing set regardless, I'm interested to see if we could see more of those type of matches.
I'm sure we will get a lot more of those matches because Javon and Shigdama are going to be up there in winners finals. But I think before we play that one, we're going to go down to losers quarterfinals and play some of those losers matches leading up to winners. For the matches down there, we have Seb V and Hollow lined up, and also Extreme Sonic versus Weebshu. So we're going to be seeing more of that Rachel. We're going to be seeing more of that Noelle, that Mai,
Yeah,
and
so
Extreme Sonic, of course.
yeah, so a lot of people we've already seen on stream, and these are people that we assume were going to make top 8 just because of how well they were playing in the time they were on stream. So this is already shaping up to be a very strong top 8.
Yeah,
And
it is looking to be that way.
Yeah, I'm excited to see how, because we've already seen a lot of these players play against each other. Now they're going to be playing against other opponents, still against each other. So I'm really interested to see this one.
Yeah, definitely Seb V versus Hollow. I've been really enjoying what I've been seeing from Seb so far with that Noelle. You barely see the character, and it's really interesting to see how players adapt to the matchup, how they think about that matchup, because the character isn't common. So because of that, there's a lot of those gaps in knowledge, those knowledge checks that will fly by unnoticed. And I'm interested to see if Hollow does know those knowledge checks, does know how to play against Noelle, and see if Hollow can keep Noelle from playing her game, because Noelle has to be right up on top of you, which feels a bit weird because Noelle is a gun character, but I think Mai is a really good pick into this character.
Yeah. Noelle, being a gun character, not exactly the best projectile in the game, but more of a type of rushdown type of character, honestly.
Yeah, that is definitely what she is going to be. And also, she has those drive moves that are invincible too. And if Seb can use those at proper times, that could completely smoke Hollow trying to mash out of pressure.
Right. This should be a good one. We've seen both these players on stream already. And I don't know who I even want to see take this, because this feels like it should be a pretty nice match to do. A pretty easy kind of match. And once again, just not having to be able to fight Noelle as often. But you never know. Hollow might have a Noelle friend, just hunt them down online.
I mean, Hollow is Dallas area, and Fire is also Dallas area. So who knows? Maybe Hollow has a bunch of experience playing against Fire as Noelle. Fire is definitely a Kagura player as their main, has a Tiger and Noelle pocket. So I don't know how often that actually ends up being the case, but who knows? Maybe Hollow did hit up Fire and is like, hey, hit me up with those Noelle matches. Let me play this character.
Yeah. I mean, if you have somebody in your state that plays a character, you might as well. That's usually where the best net play experiences are.
I think right now, oh, Seb just joined. Yeah, I was about to say, I was like, where's Seb? No, speaking of the devil, Seb is now joining up in the lobby and ready to roll. Seb actually switching to the Ragnar this time. As I said before, I didn't think that Noelle would be a very good character against Mai, and Seb does have that Ragnar pocket, so we're seeing it right now, maybe feeling more confident with this character into this matchup.
Yeah, this is a very interesting tip. Both characters kind of a brawling style, so I also want to see how much match experience Hollow has it with Ragnar as well. Because I think Ragnar is probably the most common character in PlayStation.
I think so too, now that I think about it. A lot of people play this character.
Seb's still getting the first hit, and Hollow already down over half health to life. Oh, but the TP coming out, just throwing it out midstream. Hollow getting a nice hit, throwing out projectiles.
Yeah, we're seeing this zoning come into play. That's what I was talking about with that Noelle matchup. And Seb just rushing right in, gets a huge counter hit, going straight
immediately into the Infernal Divider.
Yeah, trying to wall out that burst, but Hollow not going to bite at the very end. Wants to hold down to that burst. Not going to hero burst today, because we've seen plenty of those hero bursts fail. And yeah, Hollow's going to be going to this next one. Has burst on the table, starting with a clean slate. The overdrive through, overdrive in response.
Just out of range and gets hit by a 5D. That's plus. Baits out the DB, but didn't get a single punish. That's not good. It's a grab combo in the corner. This should be really nice damage. Beat, but it's okay. We don't tech those. Try to safe jump. That should have been a safe jump. I don't know why that didn't work. And here we go. Oh, Seb looked like he went for the cross-up divider, but just didn't pay off.
I really like that.
Yeah, and Hollow getting a nice combo. Oh, but the DP right back. Oh, but the dive actually catching it. This should be death. Except for the burst coming out. A hero burst coming out from Seb. Nice check on the throw. Oh, it just dives. That's plus.
See, rapid cancel and
burst here. No. Oh, and the grab coming out. The air throw. Really nice locking out the burst. I am shocked that they did not burst in that situation.
Yeah, I am too, but maybe Hollow was like, okay, maybe I don't think this combo is going to kill. Hollow did not believe in the combo, so just build onto that burst, try to save it for a more important moment. And because maybe Hollow went to use overdrive too, but that throw was the perfect response.
Great awareness from Hollow, but the grabs, taking it, locking out that burst. And honestly, that was fairly close. Goes for the plus overhead.
Now Seb is just playing patient until that 1-5B opportunity comes through, and comes through it did. EA to finish that off, 3.6k.
Oh, but gets hit by a dive, trying to go for the gauntlet. Gauntlet Hades. But, and actually great punish from Hollow.
Yeah, you can
Misses
actually
the
punish
combo,
that.
but still is an active flow. Or still in overdrive. Baits out the DP and finally gets a nice punish. This might be enough to kill.
Yeah, it's a fatal counter too. Has the meter. Oh no, drops at the very end. And a hit with that 5B. No burst for Hollow into super.
That is so unfortunate. That drop combo allowed Seb to take the round back. Hollow gotta be shaken up from that. And Seb with a nice overdrive round start once again. This time just goes for the full combo. Oh, and Hollow actually getting a nice hit. Doesn't get the full combo though, and eats a DP for the trouble. But still getting the active flow. That's really good for Hollow. Gets a fatal trade. Oh, and I like the use of the drive to snipe out any Ragnar specials coming out.
Now we're back to this patient game, and there's the counter hit that Seb has been looking for, bringing him down to the floorboards, into the corner. Oh, the mash out. Hollow's been on top of those.
And this is really close. Gets hit and immediate overdrive to lock out the burst. Amazing awareness by Seb.
Seb's been having fantastic awareness. We've been saying it a lot, but Seb has been having really, really good awareness when it comes to that burst meter. He sees the burst and he's like, okay, what can I do to lock them out from a burst, to lock them out from having another chance in this round, right? So the throw to beat out the burst, the overdrive to go through burst, or a super to lock out burst too.
And you could see Seb at that last minute, they hit him with the the JC, and they had such confidence that they got the hit that they immediately overdrive. It was great awareness from Seb, and I'm really liking what I'm seeing.
Yeah, and I mean, even if you don't get the hit too, it's really good just to have overdrive to still lock out burst. So if you do get a combo, if you do open them up, then they still can't burst during that duration.
Right.
This does mean, however, with Seb moving on, that Hollow has been kicked out of the bracket by Seb. And pretty good run though, not too bad. But,
yeah, making it to top 8 in this type of tournament is a pretty good feat in itself.
And now we have the other side of the coin. Extreme Sonic versus Weepy. This is going to be feeling very different from what we just saw. 9 versus Rachel. Let's see how well Weepy knows this matchup. I'm sure that Weepy has played so many 9s in his time. Twirly, Julio, and now Extreme Sonic coming up. And let's see how their matchup knowledge can apply to this set that we're about to watch.
Yeah, this should be a fun one to watch. I think we've seen these two fight against each other, but it's always really fun, really good to see these two fight.
And immediately we are backing off, throwing out traps, trying to overwhelm the screen space and make Nine's movement more predictable. I think that's one of the more important things, so that Nine can't just teleport around all over the place. And this is a great opening. We've had a bit of a hard time before, but now is starting off their game plan right.
Oh, but Extreme Sonic just teleporting around the Lobelias, but still getting tagged by them. And you can see 9 is just getting locked down the entire time. The Lobelias are doing a lot of work. But the Coon side finally finding its mark. And the Coon side reset once again. Red throws out a Morganite and gets the overhead.
Will this be enough to kill? I think, oh no, not quite.
Oh, but gets another Coon side reset. And you see how overwhelming a character like 9 can be. The momentum she has is just so dangerous.
That's so rough. Extreme Sonic is 4 for 4 with these Coon Knights hitting.
Morganite coming out, but Leapsy smartly jumping away from the pressure. You do not have to eat that mix-up if you're in the air. An immediate burst coming out from Leapsy. I really like this specifically because Nine has just such overwhelming offense that bursting early is actually not a bad idea. Nice bait on the DP, but unfortunately, for some weird reason, that is plus.
And the thing is, Weepsy tried to press there, which makes it even worse because that is a counter hit. You want to do some extra damage along with it, and that combo will squeeze out just enough damage to secure Extreme Sonic that game, putting him 1-0 over Weepsy. And Weepsy going to take a small breather before we get back into it.
And you can see just how strong Nine's offense is. Rachel was doing everything to keep Nine locked down, but the moment that Extreme Sonic got a hit, he just ran through Rachel.
And that's what.
Oh, it's a nice hit. That is a very difficult combo to confirm. It's a nice 3-con combo. Frog on top, but doesn't meaty enough. And the cat chair coming out once again. Burst still back into the corner. Nice block on the rock, but doesn't block the God Hand. Once
Another
again.
God Cannon coming out. Extreme
If it ain't broke.
Just
And the
keep on
catcher.
going with it. It's like, you don't block overheads normally. I'm just going, here, have this overhead.
Oh,
have
and the
this overhead,
frog, I
have this
really
overhead.
like that. Yeah, that was a great use of frog to beat out that DP. Oh, Rachel wins the wrong way, it looks like.
Teleporting in. Oh, tries to teleport up. There's going to be that end lag you got to worry about. And Weepsy takes their first round, I believe. And
Yeah,
you can
it's
take a
very-
round.
Yeah, it's a very rough type of matchup you have to deal with here.
Well, if
Barry
you can take
coming
a
out.
round, you can take a game. And Weepsy, oh no, that's not
Whoa.
looking good. But this
Nice
is.
confirm from Weefy. Just knock him down. And once again, the frog beating out that DP. Throws the frog again.
I think
But
it's
Extreme
great
Sonic,
to have.
Yeah, Extreme Sonic just teleports away.
I like what Weepsy's thinking too, because normally that DP is hard to punch. You have to completely avoid it if you want to punish it properly. But having George as that mind down means if you block it, you can still punish it anyways.
Something to know is that Nine's DP is a projectile, and George is projectile invuln for some reason. I don't think it's invuln, I think it has like a certain amount of hits, and I don't think projectiles do enough hits.
I don't think so. Using the wind to go right over, that was so smart. Not putting
Oh,
Weepsy
but
on
bad
top of
burst
that
coming
burst.
out! Oh, that is so unfortunate. Tries to hero burst, but just out of Nine's range. And
That-
once again, neither player has their burst.
I think that's the second time that a 9, that Extreme Sonic has been burst safe in their combos.
Yeah, sometimes, and once again, actually cat safe too. Catch her safe.
Yeah,
And you can
unfortunately,
see,
9.
once again, just the effects of not having a burst. Oh my god, Extreme Sonic taking it with a perfect, and I bet you wish you had your burst now.
And what a proper 9-way, a staple 9-way to finish a match. And with Kunzanite coming down, the rock hitting you high. And unfortunately, Nishi was not there to block it that time. So many overheads, and at some point, it just becomes harder and harder to keep up. Extreme Sonic moving up into losers semifinals to play against Seb. And I want to ask you this question. Considering that we saw Seb play Noelle and Ragna, do you think that Seb is going to pull out Ragna for 9 or pull out that Noelle?
Honestly, I do kind of play. Okay. I kind of do play 9 as a sub character because I'm from Texas. And I actually find a lot of trouble fighting Noelle myself for some reason because Noelle's, I think her drive, it's like the 6D drive, the one where she rolls forward, goes under a lot of 9's normals, which I found out the hard way, but it actually goes under quite a bit. So I wouldn't be surprised if we saw the Noelle because she has a lot of that invuln to get out of those pressure screens.
It's really good that you note that too, because we saw those overheads, those clean night stuff like that we've seen Nine just throw out. Those drive moves from Noelle being invincible can actually just go right through them, and that's really important to have. I know that I've heard other Nine players talk about that too, where Noelle can be a bit difficult to work with, to play against. And I just want to comment on how it's so funny that you're like the ultimate Texas player. You play both a 9 and S. I don't think anybody else plays both 9 and S.
It basically the story behind that was I lost to, I think, Kagura or Azriel, and then I went to like a friend of mine, and they were like, you can learn 9 and she'll help you with fighting these characters specifically, because Kagura, I think it was Kagura, because it's like Kagura needs to stand to charge flash kick, and I was like, okay, that makes sense. But I just decided this character is kind of dumb. This character just throws rock and gets a lot of pressure and everything, and she's actually very fun to play. And I've always played S. I've played S since the start, since Celica got nerfed in the first update. So yeah, that's a great point. I actually didn't even think about that myself.
You played against a Kagura, and that was your breaking point to become a 9 player
I
as
was
well.
just like, I need something like I'd rather just not have to interact with this character at all.
That's so funny. And that's also so funny that your friend brought that up as well, because 9 is such a great pick against Kagura. Even better than S. I mean, S is a good pick against Kagura, but the way how Kagura is a charge character, 9 forces Kagura to block high so much more often.
Right, because you have the threat of the rock. And I was like, I guess it makes sense, because in Under Night I play Batista, and it's like that for me with Hilda, that I have to stand most of the time I don't want to. So I lose the flash kick charge, which takes away a lot of my defense. And I was like, you know what? That's a good point. I could use that to fight against, fight Kagura specifically.
I don't think I want to hear about the other characters you play, because it's just gonna make me more and more concerned. Now that I hear that you play Batista as well. Oh dear.
Oh yes.
I play Merkava, and I have a bit of a tough time against that character.
But I mean, you are playing Merkava.
That is true, but I don't think Merkava is as stupid as Batista. But I'm not gonna get into that. Not now.
Well, actually, Under Night, the newest version of Under Night just came out early access for people with PSN. So I'm not too sure the changes of Merkava and Batista, how they're gonna play out in the future. But yeah, Batista is still very strong as far as CLR, but in the newest version, she did receive a couple nerfs.
Yeah, she's a little weaker. Merkava's a little bit better, so I guess the gap is closing in. But enough of Under Night. We're going into BlazBlue Central Fiction winners finals here. Javon versus Chickzama, a match for the ages. And Javon, a great start, but Chickzama responding with a fantastic mash out instead.
And in true Texas fashion, we have S versus Chickzama.
And down to the floorboards you go.
Chick getting a lot of these exchanges in her favor, but here comes Javon with a nice throw combo. Just goes for the normal 5D, ends it short. Goes for the overhead. And the cross-up not connecting this time. Oh, but the throw bait is going to give enough for Javon to get the kill. And that was quick work from Javon. This matchup is very in S's favor. S has those buttons, that giant JB, and that 6B just contesting Hazama in the space that he wants to be.
Get behind her.
And nice confirm coming off from Javon. That is a full JD combo mid-screen. Oh, and the projectile is just stopping Hazama from getting any air momentum. That is unsafe. And Javon bursts in the corner.
Alright,
Here we
what's
go.
the
One
setup
more.
going to be afterwards? JD falling down the overhead. Sama just locked in this corner, unsure of what to do right now. Jumps the slow fireball, the B fireball. That was really smart, but Javon is ready on that escape and punishing Chikzama for doing so. Javon takes that first game, but still has 2 more games to go. Remember, because it is a finals match, this is a first to 3.
Yeah, not first to 5 the way it's set up in the room, but this is definitely up to 5 games. That is very possible. I think we've seen these two players play and get into a game 5 situation.
Yeah, I have definitely seen that plenty of times. Now,
And just this Chick just taking another approach, just zooming around the screen, finally gets a hit.
that's going to be a really important tool to getting past S's fireballs, getting past Javon trying to zone out, trying to play a little more patient, a little more lame. But the thing is, Hazama's way more lame. You got the change, just spamming from full screen.
Oh, gets the
and
air
there's
throw.
the air throw.
Hazama was one of the best air throws in the game. Has just amazing range.
And there's the super comboing from anywhere on the screen. 4K damage.
Yeah,
And
just
Javon
making
on
that grab
red
combo
life.
count.
On life support right now. Tries to go for another setup. There's
Oh,
a
but
throw
Javon
in
with the air throw of their own.
Javon. And that will give enough time for Javon to get that install. And we just seeing the sauciest mid-screen combo you've ever seen.
Oh, but Chick getting a nice confirm. Just gets a straight hit in the air and converts it to a kill.
And I like what Chikzama did there too. Just having those chains finishing the combo instead of going and chasing S down, because that was burst safe the entire way throughout.
Yeah, Chick getting a nice combo. Gonna knock S close to the corner. And Javon, I really like that. This is what you need to do. You need to chicken guard these stances so you avoid any high-low mix-up.
It's always about finding the right opportunity to do those as well, because there are those pre-jump frames, and if you get hit in those pre-jump frames, Hazama damage can get really insane. That's not what you want.
And Chick going for the full combo. Javon holding on to the burst for the next game. I like the idea.
Wow, a very quick response from Chikzama.
Yeah,
Javon
and-
took a very convincing game 1, and then Chikzama responding, clapping back immediately with a very convincing game 2 of their own.
And just like that, we are 1-1. Here we go, Javon getting a nice chase down. But backs off a little bit, trying to show some respect to Chick. But Chick just taking it, just getting in, gets the overhead. Recognize that Javon isn't blocking low, or isn't blocking the overhead when Chick goes to the stance. And the air throw, that was a throw counter, so Javon was mashing the button.
Into the corner you go.
But a nice
Javon,
TP coming off from Javon. And a nice chase down. Immediate burst from Chikzama. And the 6B. I like that. Using the Gwain to get over the 2A. What's the mix? Just lock him down in the corner. Gets a hit. And a nice DP. Didn't spend the meter to close out the round.
now you have to play that neutral against Hazama yet again. Tries to go for that super fireball. But
an air
still
to air.
getting it out. Yeah, still getting it out at the end. But that could have been not the greatest whiff. Not the greatest miss there.
Oh, and runs into a fireball and catches the no tech. Gets a nice JD kick. Goes for the basic loops.
Ooh,
But the
80
drop-
at the end.
And you can see Javon just throwing out that 6B, trying to occupy that space. Oh, and the 2C coming up! That is huge! Javon should be able to close it out here.
Super and obliterating that health bar.
Yeah, the minimum damage on
Poor
the super is
okay.
very high.
Yeah. I always see an S hit an overdrive combo and see the S has meter in the tank, and I'm like, It's going to kill. That super does so much damage in overdrive.
Oh yeah, the health guzzler, as we call it.
Is that what we call it?
I believe that's the correct name. Yeah.
I'll call it that from now on. I like it. It's a very apt description. You hear it and you immediately know what it is.
Okay. Javon getting the first hit, but Chick immediate burst. And you can see Chick looking out for that DP. But Javon getting a really nice fame trap. And pops overdrive. This should be afterflow? No, it just goes for the full route. And goes for the instant overhead. Can you block these? Just for the full combo. We're gonna see. Oh, the throw.
Yeah.
The throw bait once again.
I don't think Javon has gone for a single one of those throws. Like a single grounded throw against Chick.
It's one of those things that your opponent is usually conditioned to see those throws. And I mean, if they're not OSing, you might as well.
This is a really difficult matchup, as you can tell, for Hazama. You said it already, but those JBs, those fireballs, 6B in particular, right? Just nothing, any type of air approach that Hazama tries to go with. And when those air approaches are one of Hazama's main tools to get in, it's not easy starting anything. And Javon is not going to let Chickzama start anything anymore. That's a 3-1, placing Javon into grand finals as expected, I feel. And Chickzama into losers finals, but not the last time we'll see of them, as we're going to be deciding who gets to play against Chickzama, who gets to get closer to Javon in grand finals, as we hop down to losers semifinals with Seb and Extreme Sonic.
And once again, Extreme Sonic looking to get the run back because Chickzama did send them into losers. And Seb looking at bigger fish, trying to get back to that grand final, trying to get the run back against Javon. I honestly don't know who's going to take this though, because both players have been showing a lot of really good stuff. And honestly, both players have been kind of running through their brackets. Other than the matches that they lost, they've been going 2-0 usually. And this should be a really interesting matchup. This is actually the match that I've been wanting to see the entire night.
Seb versus Extreme?
Yeah.
I think this will be good.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a really good one. You know, this is Seb's first tournament with us, and they've honestly been doing a really good job, but, you know, I'm interested to see how Extreme Sonic reacts to fighting against potentially a Noel, potentially a Ragna, or maybe something else.
If Seb can take this win, that's a podium spot. And for your first weekly.
And I think that's in the money.
And how stacked of a bracket this is, that's really big.
Yeah, so I'm interested to see if Seb goes for the Noel. You see them with the Noel avatar, you know, most likely you want to put your best foot forward. But I could definitely see the Ragna coming out.
Hey, those avatars don't tell the whole story. Who knows? Maybe Seb actually has a Valkenheim in the pocket that they're just gonna pull out randomly. It's not gonna happen, but
are you telling me you're not a Susano/Arakune main?
I wish. I wanted to play Arakune at first, but he was a bit too weird for me. I think that's like
really, and like you. Oh, okay. Because you played Merkava.
Yeah, he was a bit too weird for me. I liked how he looked. I liked his design, but I couldn't get past his weird buttons and his weird movement. So I was like, okay, I'll just play a different character.
He does honestly have like one of the weirdest movements in the game.
Yeah, it's really weird. I could not wrap my head around it. And Susano, I play him in BB Tag, so I think he's pretty fun there. You don't have to unlock moves. It's a grand old time. You hit 5B and boom, you got 12k damage.
That sounds horrible to me as a CF player. But I'm pretty sure it's a pretty interesting. Is Arakune in BB Tag?
He is not. I don't even know how they'll make Arakune work with BB Tag.
Yeah, that'd be kind of weird.
I feel like there's enough things going on the screen already in BB Tag where if you had Arakune with his bug gimmick, they either had to just remove that bug gimmick entirely or just make it like its own separate move, which would kind of defeat the purpose of Arakune.
It could be just a part of his combo game where, like,
Yeah,
whenever he
true.
does attacks, he
Like his auto
throws out
combos.
those. Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't really play tag, but here we go. We are gonna see the Noel versus the Nine, and this should be a really interesting one. Both these players just very strong in
The
their own
wheel of
respects.
fate is turning. Leave it.
And here we have it. Seb going with the outfit switch as well. Outfit 2, Noel, the better design, in my opinion.
And immediate burst coming out from Extreme Sonic, denying any momentum in the first round. You can see both players playing very respectful.
Respectful up to a point, and now it's time for Extreme Sonic to do whatever they want. Never mind. There's the counter hit from
But
Seb.
the drop combo once again, Seb kind of... Oh, and here we go, Extreme Sonic getting a nice confirm. That was a backdash, which is airborne.
I'm liking right now what Seb is doing on offense too. You're talking about how when you fuzzy block, when you jump up and block, you don't have to worry about mix. And that's exactly what Seb is doing right now, to where they're getting out of pressure a lot easier, and they're not having to worry too much about what Extreme Sonic can do to open them up. Oh, that could have been really big for Extreme, but no conversion. This will convert,
hit
though.
low.
100 meter. Tonight again.
Oh, didn't have enough to close it out. And look at that. I really like that from Extreme Sonic 2. Just jumping away from the grounded drives. Not eating any mix-up. But the drop combo, that is really huge for Extreme Sonic. Oh, and gets hit in the air. Unfortunately, when Noelle's spamming drives, she cannot block.
It's even
Both players playing very patient, but Extreme Sonic going in the first round, or the second round. Gets hit with the overhead, goes for the cross-up, and look at that, how do you block those? Gets hit with the rock. Oh my god. Seb is already down to red life.
Looks like, again, that red life might be getting depleted soon.
Oh, the throw coming out from Seb. That is really huge. That is what they need to get this momentum going. Now, what is the mix? Are we going to meaty? Or are we going to go for a type of cheeky overhead?
Gotta be
the
careful
counter
too,
assault.
because Extreme Sonic does have those, can have those stocks, and when Extreme Sonic has a stock, they have a DP.
And you can see, yeah, Extreme Sonic playing a very ranged type of game, walling out Noelle, and Seb unfortunately going down with their burst.
I like
They
that
didn't really
approach.
have a chance to use it, but in those situations, it's really tough. You want to find a hit, or you want to get in some way so you can pop overdrive and, get the momentum going on your side.
I like the approach that Extreme Sonic was taking in that matchup, because as 9, as more of a zoner, you can afford to play defense. You can afford to just play patient, wait for them to make a mistake, wait for them to overextend, and then you punish them for doing so. Because Noelle has no choice but to run into you. And Extreme Sonic knows that. It's like, hey, you have to come to me. I can just wait.
Speaking of, did we lose Extreme Sonic?
Apparently his game froze, which is never good. I think we might have to get our game reset.
I'll be right back.
All right, sounds good. While we are waiting for those technical difficulties to sweep by, remember that we do have a matcherino. There is some money in the pot. If you want to contribute, it will go to all the players here today that make those first place spots, I believe, or the podium spots. So definitely support the players if you can. Or if you don't have any money to spare, you still have the contribution codes you can redeem, which will give them, I believe, 25 cents per code. So definitely redeem as many as you can.
This is just Kara stepping in for a moment just to say the pot is currently at $76.25.
That's really good. 76. That could that'll go a long way when it comes to those travel expenses. And a lot of these players going to Frosty, so be ready to tune in, watch those players play, support them, support the Texas scene. We have Chigzama going up, Javon's going up. I know Zen is going up as well. Actually, I know there's like a master list that somebody has of all the players going up. I'm going up, and I'll actually be on the mic commentating some Blaze Blue Central Fiction while I'm over there. I'm going to be doing pools and top 48. So I'm just getting that last bit of practice in before I actually start doing it for real.
Wait,
Okay.
I'm actually also going.
My
Oh
apologies.
yeah, that's
I
right
had
too.
to do something, but I am back. And I see our players are back as well. Welcome back, Stream Sonic.
ほら無様に踊ってみせら
Right.
ないんじゃ
Not looks like we are getting our characters selected. I wonder. Okay, yeah, Seb's in, just changing the outfits. Now we got the BGM. We got the Noel music, of course. Getting that theme power up, trying to get that round win, trying to get even up the set a bit, and that might be the push they need.
I want to see how Seb adapts to Extreme Sonic's playstyle. He's playing very defensive, and I want to see what Seb does to get around this. And yeah, just once again, walking back, giving the respect to Noel. Knows that this is not a player that you want to mess around with. Oh, but just gets hit by the projectile.
And that is all Seb needs. Immediately popping overdrive, actually, just to maximize as much damage they can get out of this one interaction. That is so much damage.
That is a
5K?
lot of damage. 4.8. I didn't even know
5K.
Noel did that much damage.
Me
there we go.
neither.
And you see that Seb looking for the instant burst. But here we go.
Yeah, now it makes a lot more sense why Extreme Sonic wants to play that safe game and just backing up and letting Seb do the approach.
And look at that, with just 2 combos, they're almost about to die. Oh, but a bit of a drop.
Blocks the overhead. The guard cancel, trying to get out. Actually went under that jump button from Extreme Sonic. I believe that was JC. Or was it JC? I think it was JC. Either way, this is another good start. I keep saying that, but you got to really accentuate that because these openings that Seb gets is very important because they don't really get a lot of those openings as 9, as Extreme Sonic is that zoner player. They want to keep Seb at bay, and it does not look like they are getting that. Maybe that in those extra few minutes that Seb had was really important to resetting their mental state, resetting their game plan, and now they know exactly what to do against this matchup.
But Extreme Sonic smartly moving around Noel's pressure. And look at that, almost ran it back. We've seen before, time and time again, how strong Nine's momentum can be. And here it is, Moonsight in the corner. This is not where you want to be when fighting against Nine. Nice block on the anti-low, but gets hit by the 3C.
I think this is going to kill. They're
should
not
be
going to
enough.
get first back in time. Super? No, just go. Oh, yeah. Okay, there's the
Yeah,
super.
great choice. Going straight into the super as soon as they can. Noel didn't get their burst back, and now both players sitting on the same amount of burst meter. What's the mix here? As you can see, Seb now taking a more respectful pace against this 9.
I like that Seb is not playing into 9's range until he sees that one opening he can take advantage of.
Oh, and
See
great
how
anti-air
far-
from Noel, but the combo just didn't come out.
See how far how far Seb stays away from Extreme Sonic? They're playing outside of these buttons, and once Extreme Sonic lifts the button, once Extreme Sonic does something a bit too committal, they can just rush right in. And now a burst has been stolen from Extreme Sonic, and Seb's still sitting on burst, still sitting on active flow, still sitting on some mirror that they can use. They just need to get in once God Hand coming down.
The next hit is going to be very important. I don't know if Seb could end this right here, but the overdrive coming out. This might be enough for Seb to take the game.
But it's not in the corner, so they're not going to get as much damage as they would like from that
The
one
pressure-
interaction. This overhead will, though, and Seb has evened up the set.
The RC to bait out the counter assault was amazing. Great reaction coming out from Seb. I don't know if that was reaction or that was just they knew. Well, great tying up the set 1-1.
Now could be anyone's game. That was exactly what I wanted to see coming into this. We
Yeah,
were
this
talking
is
about
why-
earlier how we were looking forward to this one. We have a 1-1 on our hands, and we have a very good back and forth already being set up.
Yeah, we've already seen how both players have such momentum in this matchup. And honestly, right there, the burst for momentum, but Seb just reversing the situation in their favor. Can we get a nice corner combo? Oh, but the whip and the immediate burst coming out from Seb too. Barry coming out. But the air throw. I think that might have been an input error on Extreme Sonic's side, but they're in like pretty rough situation. That is plus. And Extreme Sonic getting a nice combo. What is this gonna lead into? Goes to the mix. And Seb avoiding all of it.
Avoiding every single fairy hit? That's actually kind of crazy.
But doesn't avoid the falling button.
Returning the favor with a falling button of their own. Seb is on set point. I think one thing that's really understated about how Seb is playing too is that spacing is becoming a lot better. Playing at ranges where they can successfully punish both ranges of the teleport when it comes out. Whether it be high, whether it be low, and just staying like right in that sweet middle spot where they can just press like 2A in response and get that punish. That DP will come out, will hit Seb, buff those water normals for Extreme Sonic, but I don't think they'll be able to use it. Spending burst, and Seb continually able to get these consistent wins on these neutral interactions. And now you're being brought all the way into the corner.
Oh, but Extreme Sonic with the teleport to get out and gets a low. Actually, I think it was just a raw hit. The meteors coming out. This is what Extreme Sonic needs to get this game back in their favor. The overdrive coming out. Will they punish? Bit of a drop, and the counter assault just going right through the invuln.
And
Oh,
that,
unfortunately, Extreme Sonic is gonna.
Yeah, with a command grab, Seb is in that podium spot.
Yeah, and that's the unfortunate thing when you fight against Noel is that counter assaults can get invuln through because of the drive chain. It's something that if you don't know how to fight against Noel, and you did see a couple of unfamiliarities coming out from Extreme Sonic. But regardless, good stuff to them, still taking 4th place in this type of bracket.
Yeah.
That also means that we're gonna have Seb move on, and they are going to fight Chigzama.
All right, yes. Chigzama, Hazama versus. I'm gonna pose you the question again. Who do you think Seb will play going into this matchup? Will they stick to Noel or will they stick to Ragnar? I'm
Okay,
kind
so-
of leaning more towards Noel myself yet again, and the reason why I think that is because, well, first of all, it is Seb's main, but also Noel has some very good air-to-air buttons, and when we've seen Javon play against Chigzama and utilizing those air-to-air approaches against Hazama from approaching, I think that can be really important in this matchup to have those good buttons to use.
So I'm actually gonna say that Seb might go Ragna instead, only because Ragna has those big special that hit Hazama out of the air. Think about like the Carnage Scissors. Think about the Blood Scythe, Gauntlet Hades are just things that, you know, if you're not careful, you could get hit as a Hazama player. Like Blood Scythe especially has a very good horizontal movement in the air. So a lot of times whenever Hazama's trying to like move around with chains, you'll see Ragna players jump up in the air and Blood Scythe their way in because it's a giant moving hitbox. So it can be one of those situations where I think Ragna would work out a little more. That's just my opinion. But I'm interested to see who they think is better in this matchup. We honestly, with 3 games going, I think this is 3 games, right?
Yes.
This is going to be a first to 3.
So
They do have the time to try out both of their characters if they really wanted to.
That is true. I think with that Ragna versus Noel, it's kind of would you rather have that versatility that Ragna gives, or would you rather lean into the stronger aspects of Noel's playstyle that can potentially counter Hazama's? It's like, do you want to trade off more? Do you want to trade off versatility for a more specialized playstyle? And
Right.
I think that's a really interesting question to ask as we see Seb play in each of their matches. We're just waiting on Chick Zama to get back, I believe.
Oh, I think they just joined the room.
Oh, okay.
Unless they are.
I think Chick Zama's the snowman, right?
Oh.
Yeah, they might just not be here at the moment. That could be a possibility. Yeah, okay. So while we're waiting for them, of course, gotta plug that match arena once more. Support the players if you enjoy what you're watching, and get them those plane tickets or support those travel costs going up to Frosty this weekend.
Yeah, and already I'd like to say big thank you to everyone that has claimed the code so far. We are down 50%, so 25 codes left. And
Not
once again,
bad.
thank you to everyone that has taken the time to claim these codes. It's not that hard. It is honestly just a couple clicks away.
Hold on, let me make sure that I've actually done so myself. I believe I have, but let me double check. Because I can't be saying all of this and not have it done myself.
You need to practice what you preach in some situations.
That is true. In this case, that is a very important thing to be doing.
You know what? As
There
the
we go.
host, even though I put down $50, I have yet to.
Yeah,
let's see.
it's-
Okay, I did not do mine, so we're just going to do it right now.
That after simple clicks.
Yeah, once again, it's not very hard to do. It's something that really helps out all the players that are involved in this. And once again, thank you to everyone that has claimed the code already. Or, if you're just watching and you like what you see, it doesn't it's honestly not the hardest thing in the world. It might ask you to plug in one of your socials, but honestly, it's not super difficult to do.
I just link it to my Twitter. That's the easiest thing for me.
I link it to Discord actually.
I think I had mine. Oh, actually, no, I never did. I had like linked to Twitter and YouTube. I was like, oh, I use Twitter for HEC stuff anyway, so might as well.
I used to use Twitter for that. And now my Twitter is unsafe to open in public.
Oh, I get it.
It just turned into one of those.
I understand.
But once again, you could plug in your Twitter, YouTube. I think you can even do Facebook. There's a ton of plugs you can put into.
I think pretty much any social that exists you can use.
Yeah.
I think except Instagram. I think that's like the only big one that.
That was interesting.
Maybe. Let me double check those things while we have the time. We're going to do some investigating. Yeah, no Instagram. You can do BattleNet. Funnily enough, you can use BattleNet.
Oh wow.
If you play like Activision games, I guess. Facebook, Google, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, Discord, Microsoft, and Line. Again, why is Line there? No one uses Line, but it is something you can do.
Once again, we're just waiting for Chikzama. I don't know if anyone has pinged her yet. Maybe. Okay.
Oh, good. It hasn't been a very long bracket anyway, so we can still afford to wait a bit. And
That's
Chixama's
true.
gonna come up eventually.
You're prepping for Fausty. I'll just make small conversation. Have you guys ever been to Frosty's before? This would
This will
No, I
also be
haven't.
my first year.
I have not, unfortunately, and I will not be attending this year. I didn't really make plans for it. I've gone to a couple majors, just not this one.
It's gonna be my second major ever. My first was 2020.
Oh, really? So does that mean you haven't been to Texas Showdown?
No, I actually signed up the other day, and I had already booked my flight. I'm just waiting until after Frosty.
Oh, okay. Texas Showdown actually happens in Houston, which is my home city. So it's about before it was about 20-minute drive. Now I think they changed the location.
Yeah, but I don't think it's like it's not really like a substantial move, really. It's like depending on where you live, it's like a 5 minute distance change. It's really not that bad.
Yeah,
Same
no,
area.
no, I'll definitely be going this time.
Yeah. I
So-
always go. I started going 2022. That was my first time going to Texas Showdown, and actually my first major as well. And then afterwards, I kind of started commentating for a lot more events. And then Texas Showdown 2023 came around. I commentated for that, Blaze Blue. And then Seotaku is my first out-of-state one. And then I'm just kind of continuing that with Frosties this year. And then I'm also playing on Combo Breaker, possibly CEO as well. So we got stuff in the books.
Yeah, especially if you live in Texas. Texas Showdown is a great major to go for, especially if it's your first time. Oh no. Oh no, that sounds so unfortunate.
Alright, well, apparently it seems like Chigzama had to DQ himself, which hopefully everything's going alright, but that does mean we're going to be moving right into winners finals instead, or grand finals instead, and it'll be Javon versus Seb on stream.
Yeah, so unfortunately we're not going to be able to see the Chick versus Seb matchup, which I was really interested to see, but instead we're going to see the run back once again. Javon versus Seb. This is the person that put Seb into losers. So I'm interested to see. Last time they went with the Noel, and it looks like they're still going to go with the Noel. I honestly expected the Ragna, just to try out, test the waters. But they're sticking with what got them here. The Noel is going to come out once again.
Or maybe what they want is, as playing Noel, you already have a bit of that knowledge that you gained already playing against S. And if you're going to play with Ragna, then you're kind of playing a completely different matchup, and maybe Seb isn't totally comfortable playing with that after they played Devon already. And we always have that momentum boost with Noel as well. So
That's true.
That could carry them all the way through.
Seb coming off of that win against Extreme Sonic and the DQ win against Chikzama.
Let's make this grand finals count. Javon on that winner's side, playing pretty comfortably. Seb, however, has to get that reset if they want any chance of winning this tournament. And Seb is looking like their chances are going up. This is a great combo to start
Ooh, it's
us
the
off.
overhead reset, yeah. This should be enough to kill with the meter.
I don't think so.
Just barely not enough. And the overhead coming out once again from Javon. Actually, I think it was the first one, yeah. Oh, and Seb avoiding the setup that caused him so much problems in the last time these two fought. And just mashing out with the 2A. I think I've seen that like 3 times this round alone.
Yeah, finding better mashing points is doing Seb a lot of favors. Really bringing, really making, how do I say it? Them perform better. Because knowing when to mash on defense is really important, because defense is not all about blocking mix-ups, staying there and not getting opened up. It's all about finding how to get out of the other person's pressure.
Right. It's Seb doing a really good job at just pushing the momentum. This is a lot different from the first time these two fought. And gets a nice jump in. I don't know what bug that is, honestly. But this should be enough to kill with the super.
I don't think it's a button. I think it's just a special move. I think that's the Wreckage String, I believe.
You're gonna have to forgive
part of
me
it?
because I am not familiar with Noelle at all.
Oh
Once
no,
again,
you're fine. I'm
once
not
again,
too familiar with her either.
yeah, once again, kind of a rare character. We don't normally see this character very often.
Yeah, the way she works is she has like this main Rekka string, and then
Like
she
a-
can kind of go into like the overhead or the low follow ups, and those like follow ups kind of like loop into each other, and then she has like an ender.
I do know that, in my opinion, the drive chain is kind of weak because the overhead is kind of predictable. Because he has it during the drive chain, and then the lows are very slow. So a lot of times when I see Noelle, I just stand block the whole time and just react to the lows. But Devon getting a nice combo. Oh, but the drop at the very end. Regardless, this is still looking like a perfect for Javon.
Seb got that win, and Javon took it personally. Javon with a perfect in response to that actually really convincing game one from Seb. And Seb now is having a bit of a hard time keeping up to that momentum shift at the very start.
The Austin burst coming out from Javon.
The Austin burst? Okay, you're going to have to explain that one to me.
I think it was either Javon or Chick that said the Austin burst was like the immediate burst. They just started calling it that for some reason.
That's funny. I like that. I don't think that's what... I think there's actually a term for that, but I can't remember it off the top of my head.
I'm not sure. I think there is. I don't know it, but I've heard people from Austin coin the Austin burst. But as we're saying that, Seb is doing a really good job at controlling Javon, and as I say that, they get a sick burst.
Going for the setup. Okay, crush. Oh, not crusher. Jar cancel out of there. Counter assault. And stuck in the corner once again. A burst. You have to burst that one, or you're going to lose this entire game. And Seb, while not wanting that to happen, it's going to come down to that anyways. And there's the even up. Javon, Javon setting it back to 1-1.
Yeah, and before I think it was Seb. No, it was Chickzama that went 3-1.
I believe you're right.
So Seb actually doing a lot better than the first time they played against Javon.
I think one of the key things too is, remember how in the previous matchup, a lot of times Javon was getting so much mileage out of just running up into Seb's face, just like running straight in and pressing a button and actually hitting Seb. Well, in this case, Seb is doing a much better job at seeing those habits from Javon and taking advantage of it by stuffing those approaches a lot better. Overdrive, there it is. Okay, that's really important to know, is that you can overdrive basically through any of S's drive moves. They're all susceptible to OD.
Yeah, and Seb doing a really good job at just smashing out his pressure.
Overhead, cracking that skull open, and Seb on their
Had a
way
lot
to
of
make
really
a potential game too.
Round start with Revolver Blast, trying to catch something. Javon had Boars, but unfortunately didn't get a chance to use it. Boars once again. And yeah, you can see the after image of the glyph just coming out and catching Seb. And Seb having a lot of trouble getting around these projectiles.
Really taking
Overdrive
advantage
is on
of
deck
how...
for Seb. Oh, and
the
then it was a great drive through S's drive. The
I like
5D
what
just
I'm
not
seeing
working
here
out.
from Seb. Just going straight through those drive moves, taking advantage of whenever Javon tries to reset the pressure like that.
It looked like Seb tried to bait out the overdrive activation, but just a little too overzealous with that grab, that mash. And Javon taking that round.
I think that
Overdrive working out in their favor.
Oh,
and
no.
it's hit by 60. Look, very lucky that that wasn't a counter because S's dash 6C is a fatal counter. Ooh. It's a nice match. Oh, and catches the forward roll. This is going to be nice damage coming out from Seb. Next hit is potentially death. Oh, and baits the burst. But no, guys, Javon.
Oh,
That's
no.
a bad whiff. Counter sauce to get off.
Now both players in overdrive trying to zone out Javon, but Javon finding their way in. No combo, just going super in the air. This won't be a punish. No, not
No.
quite. In the
Actually,
spot
Noel's
dodge
air
through
super
the
has
dive move.
very little recovery.
That's good to know. I did not know that actually. I wonder
It
would a
is.
6B would a 6B beat that out in the air?
I'm not too sure. I don't think so. I know as soon as she hits the ground, she recovers, so she has very little ground recovery, but you might be right. Oh, and Javon switching to the new 13.
Now
Wants
this
to
is
get a little more
really
of a
interesting.
zoning game getting on. And honestly, I don't think this is a bad choice because they have, even if they were to lose this game, they still have the reset to go through.
The wave of fate is turning.
So I want to see how this works out. This might be the answer. Javon looking for what they need to do. And we already see them using using the projectiles to stay away from Noel.
Now here's one thing.
Oh.
We don't see New very often. We don't see Noel very often. So we're seeing a very rare matchup, it feels like, now in the current day, the current scene of BlazBlue.
Yeah, both these players, both these characters, just very rare to find.
Let's see how far
Oh,
this
gets a
kick
nice
takes
3C.
Javon.
It's a nice combo. I don't think this is going to be quite the corner. Oh, it is. Sets out the super. Maybe trying to mash out a drive.
Seems like it, or maybe a spot dodge. That could have also been a possibility.
Oh, but gets hit by the overhead open setup. You want to chicken guard that if possible, because you can jump in that situation. I like what Seb did. They did the delay tech, but they just didn't have the correct answer. And now Javon, with the new working out, gets an overhead reset. I didn't even know that button did the overhead. Here we go. Javon in the corner has a lot of momentum. Oh, but the nice jump over the drive and the immediate burst coming out.
That's one thing. If Seb can properly predict which drive move Javon is going to use, or if Javon messes up, uses the wrong drive move, they will get punished badly for it because of how much recovery they have on a whiff.
That is true. And the gravity seed coming out, just stopping a lot of momentum. Nice tech on the throw, and gets an air hit. Converts it for a full combo. Into the corner. That is really good for Seb.
Now you'll notice that while Anu is kind of like your standard true zoner in BlazBlue, Javon plays this character very aggressively. We're seeing a lot of just dashing right in on you instead of just zoning you out. Purely super out, keeping Seb locked down. What's the mix going to be?
Oh,
okay,
the fake
jumping
low
right
just
out.
didn't work out. Seb smartly jumping, chicken guarding, and gets a fuzzy, but doesn't get the full combo. Stays alive against this new. And then Seb on reset point. Yeah, reset point for Seb. And you see, that was a great. They guessed right on which drive came out, but unfortunately the gravity seed stopped them from getting a full punish. And Javon is just all over this Noel. Forces the burst. It's not looking really good.
No, it isn't.
Oh, but the drop combo coming out.
very end.
The burst coming out from Javon.
Making
and
Seb respect the pressure at all ranges because that dashing can come in from any distance as long as those drive moves hit. And now you're in the corner against you, and you can actually pump out a lot of damage with the proper setup.
And there you go. You see Seb jumping that setup. Actually avoiding the mix-up altogether and gets a nice combo. Switches into the corner. This is what Seb needs. They're on their last leg. They want the next game to be a reset, but unfortunately the trade baits the burst that wasn't there. Oh, and unfortunately just gets tagged by a mid.
Oh, well, maybe this pick did prove to be beneficial to Javon.
And just goes right back into the game. No, we're not going to see any Ragna potentially this whole tournament. Or this last set.
I guess we're just confident in our picks, and that's what I like to see. Seb believes they can defeat this new, sticking to their Noah, sticking to their guns, so to speak.
And Seb once again looking for the Austin Burst.
And the Austin Burst is what they got.
Okay, that was a nice EA. Oh, but gets hit by the Fatal. No real combo. This is the anti-air. Oh, but here we go. Finally gets a full combo, but drops it. Oh, and the drive coming through. This is looking really good for Seb, trying to take this round. The next hit most likely is going to be the game.
He's in a hard position to be in because New doesn't really have a reversal, so can't get out of this pressure as easily as they would like. Really, the only thing they have is their super.
Actually, that super only works as a reversal in overdrive. Without overdrive, that super has a very sizable dead zone. Here we go, Javon with a nice combo. Gonna get some corner Oki. What's the mix? Oh, just EA's not looking. Just trying to avoid the mix altogether. And I like this too because this means Noel gets active flow. Oh, and gets a nice drive hit.
Seb approaching that reset point ever so much. Ever so closer.
Gets the overhead. And Javon bursting. Immediate set up the super. Oh, but a nice grab bait coming out from Javon. That's huge. Not only is that a really good combo, but that's really good information. Okay, what's the mix? Javon blue beating, but it's okay. Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
Oh no!
Amazing, yes. Just after this EA in that situation. That is a very long recovery move for a new. Oh, goes for the double shot. Oh, this is so tense. Oh, that might hit, yes! And Seb resetting the bracket.
Oh man, I wonder what exactly Javon tried to do there with that overdrive. Oh, we're going back to character select. Are we
Yes.
back to S?
Honestly, the new worked out fairly well, but I want to see if Javon maybe switches characters back. Yeah. They were doing very good with S in the first game and in the kind of, in the reset. I think the new was a good experiment and it gave a lot of information. It didn't work out the way Javon wanted to, but regardless, I still think that was a very good choice.
The wheel of fate is turning.
Now Javon going back to the main, going back to what they know best.
Getting back to
With the Austin
what
Burst coming
works.
out once again.
Like trying to throw out the fireballs and like, nope, just get shot with the gun. Stop it.
And we can see Seb has
Plus-
adapted quite well. Could have gotten a much stronger combo there. Nice tech on the throw. Ooh, and yeah, you can see Seb looking for the projectile hits. And Javon with a nice DP over that. Oh, and that is a big hit. Yeah, this is a great combo from Javon. This should be at least 3K.
Instant overhead, and that will be enough to kill her. Yep, there we go. Pick up at the end.
Oh,
No,
no super, but doesn't block the instant overhead. So tough to deal with.
Oh, what? That was a counter hit trade, and that ended up being very favorable for Javon because that 6 speed launching up so high regardless. So you want to be careful with these drive moves in those pressure strings because we've seen how effective Seb is when it comes to spot dodging, when it comes to rolling right through them and punishing Javon so hard for trying to use those drive moves.
Yeah, but right now, Javon working on this first game. Oh, and look at that. The drive move just coming out so fast in overdrive. Javon trying to bait a burst that's not there. but got the full combo. And then that just looked like a burst save route.
I think maybe. Not
Good stuff to
sure.
Devon. This is the first. That was the first game of the reset.
Yes, it was.
Yes. The scoreboard is just a little bit confusing.
The wave of fight is turning. Leave it. Well, action.
Here we go. Ooh, and Seb just avoiding that 6C. Ooh, and a nice 4D to avoid that DP.
Seb going for harder and harder reads the more he plays against Javon. He's starting to pick up on these habits a lot more often, and it's proving to be very fruitful when it comes to opening him up, when it comes to getting these combo opportunities. This combo might be enough to kill. It keeps going up that damage.
And it is enough. Seb taking that with a perfect. We've been seeing a lot of those this whole tournament.
Yeah, I feel like when I'm seeing these combos, I'm like, it has to end at this point. It has to end at this point. No, but it just keeps on going.
Oh, and Seb with a great mash, an amazing challenge, and a nice combo. That dash under was pretty swaggy. And a nice challenge from Seb. It's a nice anti-air, looks like. Oh, and that's another thing. Once again, the drive info coming out from Noel. Except this combo is still going. And yeah, this is the active flow version, so this should be enough to kill. Still one button 4K coming up.
That's crazy.
There was a lot of things happening in that last round. There's just a bunch of sequences coming out. And Seb came out the victor.
I'll say though, one thing about this is that this grand finals this entire time has been incredibly even, incredibly well matched.
It has,
And
yeah.
remember, Seb, this is their first tournament here, and Javon here is a regular that's consistently able to get up super high. A lot of first places, and the fact that they're able to play toe-to-toe with Javon like this is nothing short of impressive.
That's very true. It's one of those things that, how well do you know how to fight against a very unique character like Noel? And Javon getting a nice crush trigger combo. This should be enough to kill, even without meter.
Was enough to kill, and it still had more in the tank, a little bit more to finish that combo with. So Javon is looking quite good. This could be another set his way. It looks like we're just alternating back and forth. You take one, I take one. You take one, I take one. But can Seb here break that cycle?
The way they're playing, it looks like that might happen. Gets opened up by the low. I've noticed that Javon has gotten opened up quite a bit by that low. Maybe preemptively looking for the overhead. Text in the air. Oh, and just gets hit. I think they were trying to mash a 2C. That might have been a missed input for the DP. But 6B coming out. It's going to get Javon a full combo. And the cross under is vicious. This is really good for Javon. But the wake up super is going to take it for Seb. That should be the round, and it is. And honestly, they didn't have the meter to back it up, so that was an all or nothing play for them.
And
Just a round start done.
definitely paying off right now. That's plus if you charge that Gawain all the way up. Gotta be careful. But I like what Seb is doing, you know, jumping up, barrier blocking, doesn't have to worry about the Knicks as much, has no meter to back that GP up, and Javon having to burst that one.
Yeah, that would have been massive damage.
not only damage, but also a huge corner carry too, which would let Seb get set up. But instead, Javon bursting Seb into the corner and is getting set up on his own. There's a spot dodge coming out. We know it.
Oh, and the command
Need
throw
it,
coming out
and
actually.
it is working like a charm. This damage is going to keep racking up. We're going to see another 4.8K.
Oh, it should be a double super.
No way. Is that enough?
I don't know if this is enough to kill, but oh, just
God,
on the
what?
pixel. And amazing react call out. Overdriving right through that super. And Seb taking the second. I think that was the third game.
No, that
Second
was
or
the second
third?
game.
Yeah, they're now up 2-1 against Javon.
この子の瞳なぜか目をそらせないあなたは
I think because the game, I think it's
何を見ているの？
because set to first of 5. I think they're automatically booting them out of the game for a bit. But we're just going to get right back into it afterwards. But man, 2-1
And honestly,
in the reset.
honestly though, this could be a really good breather for Javon. You know, sometimes you want to just take a break. I don't know, kind of a forced breather. But I want to see what Javon does. Are we going to see the new once again, or are they just going to stick it out with the S? This would be something if Seb comes in their first tournament and taking it over to a player like Javon.
Man, what's so crazy too is that the first time Javon played against Seb, it looked like a steamroll.
Yeah, it was
Like,
a 2-0 in Javon's
It
favor.
was a 2-0. Seb, I don't even think took a single round, and Javon was just looking incredibly dominating that entire time. And now suddenly Seb is turning the tables on him in a surprising way.
Yeah, and this is what I like to see, the adaptation on especially long sets, players that you've been playing against for, multiple rounds. You have to come back and you can't just let them steamroll you.
Yeah, he's just taking that data and now realizing what exactly Javon's habits on pressure are and exploiting them. We talked about those spot dodges, those rolls, those drive moves, and they're really coming into play, right? They're pulling so much work, pulling so much weight for Seb.
Oh, and the 4D actually getting stuffed out by the 2B coming out from S. And this is going to be a nice corner combo. What's the mix? High? No, just goes for the plus charge. And goes for the command grab, their own.
We don't see that one terribly often, but when it does come out, players a lot of times don't know what to do against it. It's like that one jump scare. You don't realize it's come out until it actually hits you.
Yeah, and we saw that in the previous game when Seb went for the command grab against Javon. It's one of those
It doesn't
things
help.
Yeah, it's one of those things that you don't really pay attention to.
It's one of those. It also helps too because that command grab looks a bit similar to the startup of the overhead too. So
Yeah.
it makes you want to block high, but then
Yeah,
you just get command grab right afterwards.
Ooh, I like the use of the drive to get around projectiles, but doesn't get around the S. It's a nice hit. This is what Seb needs.
No more crush triggers for you today. Get in the other corner.
Oh, and the nice
What?
AD, just getting over that 5A. Unfortunate for Javon, but amazing for Seb. What's the mix? They're just gonna knock him down. And looking for the DP with that 4D. And looking for the DP again. Yeah, knows that Javon likes to use that DP. Oh, the cross up, the no dice. And now the overdrive coming out. That's so bad for Seb. A nice combo from Javon. I don't know if they're gonna be able to close it out right here.
No,
Oh, but
this
the
will.
low coming out from Javon, actually tying it up 2-2. And we're gonna go to the last game.
Looks like that breather really helped.
Yeah,
We
Javon,
have a
Javon coming out like a different animal. This is really good. This is the last game of the tournament. Who's gonna take it? It's gonna be the newcomer, or are we gonna have the defense coming back from Javon? What's the round start?
Either way, it's going to be hard fought and it's going to be exciting. It's coming down to the wire right now. And what better way for Javon to calm those nerves, calm those senses, is to get a good start along with it. That combo, putting Javon into active flow. We will be seeing that burst meter recharge super quickly.
Yeah, look at that. 7 on the burst already, but Seb tying up the life total. Ooh, the drive chain coming out, but it's just not enough. Javon not cracking under pressure. Oh, but the hit! That is a big hit and into the overdrive. I don't know if this is enough to kill, but this is going to be really big damage. They have 100 meters, so we're probably going to be looking at a double super. No, just ends it. Oh,
Okay,
and
EA
smart
right
EA
through.
coming out for Javon. Ooh, and a nice falling sequence to get the full confirm. Unfortunately, not able to kill. Oh, and
Didn't lock
Seb
the
just-
cross up.
yeah, didn't barrier on the way down and got hit by an anti-air button.
One more round for Javon, and Seb knows that playing even more patient than they were
Oh, no.
before. But when you start playing patient like this, when you start backing up and getting scared, that is where Javon will start to shine. Can just run up on
Oh,
you
and the
like
anti-air
this,
knock
like
out.
so.
And the
Cross
cross
up.
under, but it's not fast enough. The 6A overhead coming out from Javon, and then the fake safe jump. Seb actually getting the better of that situation. This is looking
Seb
really rough
Get
for Seb
one
so
more
far.
combo win, and there's
Oh, and
the
the
throw.
throw
This
coming
could
out.
do it.
I don't know. They have burst, and that is a lot of life to take away from us.
Well, this could put them onto the map for taking this game.
Oh, the
One
TP
more
coming out
combo,
finally.
One more opening, but both players just need one more combo, right? We're just getting a lot of straight hits right here.
The EA coming out, and that is active flow. Javon
That's
should be
enough.
able to take it here. 4K, that one button 4K. Unfortunate for Seb, but Javon closing it out, winning, taking the whole tournament, and just an amazing set. The breather was what Javon needed.
Yeah, we've seen it time and time again. A breather is all you need. Just take that 1 second to reset your mindset, to reset your game plan, and go into it with a fresh mind. And that was exactly what you needed. Maybe first to 5 was the option after all. And
Yes. Yeah,
what
Seb
a bracket.
definitely did a good job, and it came down to the wire, right? It came down to like the last game. So amazing showing by them. Unfortunately, wasn't able to close it out, but still a great showing for the first time. I would love to see them again.
Yeah, one last time, go support the Maturino if you haven't already, and go support all these players, whether it be at the locals, whether it be online in this bracket, or whether it be at majors like Frosty this weekend. Go support Javon, Chickzama, Kara will be going up there as well, our stream runner for today. And I think Weeshi is also going up as well. So we have a lot of people representing Texas to go invade, in a way, go invade Chicago and play against other players on a more worldwide scene. I know there's going to be a lot of strong players coming out as well. I believe Monarch might come out and we know exactly what kind of player Monarch is.
Right.
Other than that, I don't have anything else to say.
Yeah, I just like to say, like, thank you everyone for joining us, and the people that, claimed the codes from the Maturinos and just enjoyed yourself. These were some really fun matches to watch, and I'm really glad that we got to see a lot of these matches. Yeah, you did good.
You can't just send
No,
them to a
don't say
Blaze
that,
Blue
what?
cross tag battle channel
That is
right
not the
after this.
same.
I mean, okay, don't get me
Yeah.
wrong. I think tag is a fun game, but you can't do it to these people.
I am not a fan of tag. I will say it. I do not consider that a Blaze Blue game. I don't know. I don't know if it's like another Blaze Blue streamer is on right now. I think that'd be good.
Blaze Blue cross tag battle. Let's go.
No.
Now you know what? You know what? I don't care about the people. Send it to them.
Yeah, you do you.
Just a few days away. Hey, that's the spirit. Actually, maybe not. Don't go 0-2. Go 1-2 at least.
Yeah, but yeah.
At least
So-
out.
Yeah, that should be it. Take care of yourselves, everybody. I'll see you next time.